and welcome to this practice. I'm so grateful that you are here today with me and join me on your mat. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Remember, if you need, you can always elevate yourself by sitting on a blanket or sitting on your yoga blocks if that helps your spine and helps your lower back feel better. If you can't cross your legs or if you need to sit on a chair, please always work with your body and listen to it and tune in and just listen to what it needs today. And go ahead and find that comfortable position. Place your hands upright if it feels comfortable on your knees, and then draw your eyes closed. And we're just going to begin by taking a moment to breathe in and out through our nose. And again, only if that works for you. And just slow the breath. Start to feel the sensations of your tailbone sinking into your mat. Maybe your hips rock a little bit back. And every breath in softens the jaw, softens the cheeks, releases any tension from your shoulder. Moves down the spine, into that tailbone, and every space in between each vertebrae fills with that air that we breathe in through our nose and allows our spine to expand. And with every expansion and every breath, it becomes easier to bring that breath in through the nose and out. And as we ease into this breath and begin to center ourselves on the mat, we first take a moment to give thanks to the people who came before us, to those who taught us this wonderful practice, and gave us this wonderful gift of yoga, and to those who taught them, and to each person that handed it down generation to generation. Breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe out, allow anything that no longer serves you to leave with that breath. And this might take a few breaths. We are here together to practice, to enjoy, to be happy, to be calm, to learn maybe, and to let go of expectations of what we think poses look like, how we should think they should feel, and just enjoy the movement of our body and our breath and the calming of our mind. If it feels comfortable to you, draw your hands together at heart center, palms touching, Anjali Mudra. You can join me for one Om. Breathe in. Breathe out on your next breath. Go ahead and slowly open your eyes and let them just drop down past your fingertips to the floor. And softly take in the room. The breath is still soft and gentle. And then bring your hands to your knees and bring your head up. Begin to move your spine and just kind of start that pandiculation. And this week's practice focuses on our spine and all the different movements of our spine and how it houses our central nervous system and connects all of these wonderful sensations from our lower body to our upper body, to our appendages, to our organs, and provides that stability for being upright. So we can move in a lot of different ways. We move our spine side to side in a little flow. We can twist from side to side. We can bend forward, and then we can extend it back. So tune in today is how your spine's moving from every single pose that we do, and just feel what your spine feels like in each of the poses. There is no right or wrong as long as it doesn't hurt. So let your mind kind of wander there. If it starts wandering away in a pose, bring it back to the spine. And then after that, bring it back to the breath. And and how your breath affects your spine also. Place your hands on your knees. Take a big deep breath in and feel your sternum lift up. And exhale it out. Inhale it up. And exhale it out. And then just take your fingertips and rub the ribs, warming up any of the fascia around those ribs to allow for the breath to be easier. You can rub along your diaphragm, even down into your belly if it feels comfortable. And then up through the center, along the sternum, along the collarbone, over the heart, across the chest, across those pectorals. You can even tap here. Gentle, nothing hard. And then I like to make little cups with my hands by just placing my thumb and my my pointer and my middle finger together. And then I take those and I just rub this spine area of my lower back, warming up the thoracolumbar fascia, all of this connective tissue back here, even up onto the back ribs. Getting a little heat, a little warmth. And then I'm just going to rub my arms, warming up the muscles, the fascia, superficial fascia is really, really just right underneath your skin, so it doesn't take a lot to warm it up. And then maybe just making some fists and taking your knuckles and rubbing the thighs. And hopefully after watching last week's video, you've already warmed up your feet. If you haven't, you can always repeat that. Place your hands on your knees, lift the chest again, breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale, round down. So from the side, as I sit up, I'm lifting up in almost a cow, a seated cow position, and as I exhale, I'm going to drop my chin down and round the back, just letting my hips roll, my spine roll. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale. Let it out. One more time. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, roll it down. Excuse me. From here, we're going to take the left hand, place it on the right knee. Right hand, place it on the left knee. And do the same thing. So we're just going to lift up and exhale. Drop down. Get a little deeper stretch into that back area. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, bring the hands up. Spread the palms, bend the elbows, open the heart. Inhale, look up towards the horizon. Exhale, place the other hand over the top and the other hand under. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, round down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round down. Good. Come back up. Neutral spine, lifting the spine up, having a natural length and curve to your back. Bring the hands up again. Spread the palms. Try not to squeeze your shoulders up and lower them down. And then bend those elbows and just open the heart, lifting through that sternum. Looking up towards the ceiling or towards the horizon. And then place your hands behind you, fingertips down on the ground. So we get this really nice lift through the sternum, opening up through the pectorals. Not forcing it. We're not wrenching open. We're just gently lifting and stretching, keeping the neck nice and long. Breathe in. Exhale out. If your hands don't touch the floor easily, you can always place them on blocks or a rolled up towel or a foam roller. You can come up on your fingertips too. One more breath. And then we release. Come back to center and just walk yourself forward. Releasing your neck, letting your back round, using blocks if you need to, and only going as far as it feels good to you. Let your breath come in and breathe into that back space. Inhale and slowly walk yourself up as you exhale, enjoying the pose between the poses, enjoying that movement of coming up and how beautiful our body moves and our spine articulates as it stacks the vertebrae one at a time. Extend your feet out in front of you for folded, seated, forward, seated fold. Flex your toes up towards the sky. Just shake your knees out a little bit. If your knees don't straighten out, that's okay. And again, remember, if you have a hard time sitting upright in this position, place a towel underneath those sit bones. It will help you extend your back. Have your yoga strap handy. If you don't reach forward and are not able to touch your toes, you can always use a yoga strap. Sometimes I use it just because it feels good. You just slowly walk yourself down. Nice long neck. So what I see happen a lot in this pose is people are reaching with the bottom of their chin. I'm going to reach my chin to my toes. And I just want you to gently tuck that. And think about folding from the waist, reaching forward and keeping that back nice and long. So we're not rounding over. So we still have that lift of the sternum and we can breathe. Nice long neck. And just reaching as far as is comfortable. We're not forcing our body. Our body's not completely warm. It's just a gentle stretch. Awakening the spine. Saying hello to those hamstrings. Breathing all the way from our nose, all the way down to our sit bones, to our tailbone. And allowing each breath to release through the hamstrings. To release our spine in this flexion. On your next breath, allow your head to drop and your back to round. And then slowly walk up one vertebrae at a time, drawing the right knee in. Lord of the Fish pose, a little modified version since we're not fully warmed up. I don't want you again to really crank into that twist. So we're just going to take our left arm, wrap it around the right, and just place our hand back. We're not going to go all the way. Just because we can doesn't mean that we should. So just a nice lift, a beginning twist to warm up that circular motion, that revolving motion our spine can do, that spiral motion our spine can do. Inhale and lift the sternum. It's really easy to collapse into this and really force our twist. We're just going to lift here. And look over that right shoulder if it feels good. Inhale. And every breath allows this posture, where we are, to be easier, to be more comfortable. Inhale and release. Shake it out. Draw it in. Can you guys hear that fly? I have a little fly in this room. There's a window open somewhere. And all I can hear is this little buzzing. Shake it out. Draw the left knee in. Lift up through the sternum. Wrap the right arm around. Gently drop the left hand behind. We're not forcing. Looking over the left shoulder. Breathing into this. Place the hands back down, shake out those knees, and then slowly roll down onto your back. Drawing the knees with you, relaxing through the neck, coming into wind relieving pose. Bringing the knees as close as it feels comfortable. You can even tuck the chin and lift the head towards. And everyone bring their head back down. And just gently roll side to side. Woo. Maybe don't go quite as far. Maybe some little circles and just massaging the base of our spine through our hips, through our shoulders, and then releasing those knees up into tabletop position. Hands can come down to the side and they come out with the palms up. And we're just going to drop the knees to the left, looking over the right. If this hurts your lower back, draw your knees in a little bit closer. Place some yoga blocks underneath and support. Don't go as far. You don't have to let your legs go all the way over. And keeping the knees in will allow you to control the movement better than from out here where that fulcrum point, that leverage kind of goes, woo! This takes you all the way over. Breathe. Inhale. And as you exhale, draw the knees into your body, rolling back to center. Allow yourself to pause, returning back to the spine on the ground, coming out of that spiral twist. Place your knees where it feels good. Inhale, and as you exhale, let them drop the other way. You can remain looking up at the ceiling or turn your head opposite of your knees. Breathing the whole time. Our breath facilitates our movement, our postures. It helps us release any tension that we might feel in a stretch. So it's important to continue to breathe. Breathe in, and as you exhale, draw the knees into your chest, roll back, just rock around one more time. Good. Place the feet on the ground, widen them out to mat width apart, and just let your knees rock back and forth, letting the hips open up both ways. And then walk them in, place your hands on the ground beside the mat. Take a deep breath, and we're going to go into an extension of the spine by pressing into the ground, coming up into bridge pose, shoulders away from the ear, lifting through the glutes. Remember, you can always place a yoga block. You can hold your hips. Make sure your neck is nice and long. Press your fingertips into the ground. Press your feet into the ground. And breathe. Inhale. Lower down one vertebrae at a time, letting each vertebrae touch down until your hips sink down into the mat, into the earth. Place the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open. Reach your hands overhead, reaching for the opposite end of the room. Inhale, relax everything as you exhale. If this is not comfortable, remember, you can always put yoga blocks underneath your thighs to support them. One more breath here. And as you exhale, place your hands on the mat and gently lift up in a little cobbler pose bridge. Only going up as far as it feels good. Place the knees down. Place the feet back on the floor. Draw the right knee in and then the left knee. And just roll around. Going from extension to flexion of the spine. Releasing any tension you might have felt from an extension. And let the left leg come down to the mat. Keep the right leg in. We're just going to rock side to side, getting a little bit deeper into that twist, letting the right leg open out to the side. Left hip can come up off the ground. Roll back and forth. And then let that leg go all the way across, pausing for a moment in that rotation, in that spiral. Draw the knee back in, roll back to center, hug the left knee in, extend the right leg out. Take a breath and just let that leg rock to the right, rock to the left. You can use your hands to facilitate, to move you. Breathing the whole time. And on your next breath, in and out, let that leg go all the way to the left. Look up at the ceiling, drop that left shoulder, let the leg go all the way to the right and let that left shoulder drop down to the ground. Inhale, and as you exhale, draw the knee into the chest, rolling back to center, bringing the right leg back to your chest. Wiggle around and allow yourself to find that spine in the mat, into the earth. And then bring the heels up towards the sky. You can hold on to the back of your thigh, drawing the legs in, maybe through the calves. maybe the ankles. We're grabbing the outside of the feet, coming into happy baby. You can wiggle around, you can move, or just enjoy the centeredness of the stretch. If this makes you uncomfortable, this is a very open position. You do not have to do it. You can just go back to the windshield wipers with the feet on the ground and just go back and forth like this and open your hips that way. Inhale, and as you exhale, imagine your sacrum reaching down towards the mat, drawing those knees a little bit closer, thighs a little bit more parallel to the earth. And then release down to the floor. Roll onto your right side. Come up onto your forearm and stack that shoulder up and over. This is where a yoga strap can be helpful. So I'll demonstrate what it looks like without. You can extend the lower leg or you can keep it bent depending on what works for your balance. Grab your big toe. We're going to extend the leg up. I have very long arms, so it's very easy for me to reach my toes. If you can't, yoga strap on the foot. Use that strap to pull you up wherever you are in this pose. We're just opening up through the backside, maybe into the shoulder a little bit. You can extend that leg out. Try moving your hips into different positions, seeing what feels best to you. Some of you might be able to even come down. Lost my balance. Come down and hold it from here. Breathe. And then bend the foot, extend it out, and go ahead and just roll over to the other side. I'm just going to flip over, so I'm facing the camera. And starting from the up position, I find it easier to kind of get into it. Grab the big toe on the inside, extend that leg up. And you might notice that there's sides that are a little bit more flexible. My right side is much less flexible than my left. You can extend that leg out, and again, you can extend your arm out, rest the head there, and extend the leg. You do you. Breathe. Maybe work on straightening that leg. Never forcing it. And then release that down to the earth. We're going to roll onto our stomach, onto our belly. Place our head on our hands and just take 3 breaths down into the ribs, down into the back ribs. Crocodile breath, expanding through that lower rib cage, through the back, in through the nose and out. On your last breath out, draw your hands underneath, coming up into a little Sphinx pose. Point your toes. Pull back on the mat to lift through the sternum, pressing that hip area, the pelvis, into the mat, and draw your belly button up to your spine to protect that lower back. You can even squeeze through the glutes. Strong pose, pushing away from the earth, nice long neck. This pose is actually quite active. Inhale, and as you exhale, look over the right shoulder. Drop your chin down and around, and over the left. Down and around, over the right. Draw it back to center, long neck. Release down to the earth. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and press up to all fours. Brahmanasana, tabletop. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Wrist, elbow, and shoulders stacked. We're going to actually walk our left hand into the center of our body. So if I was stacked underneath my shoulders here, I'm going to walk my hand into the center. Inhale, and as you exhale, open up. Before you dive through those arms, I want you to imagine that you're peeling your arm open, coming up, opening that shoulder area as far as you can, the chest. Inhale and pause. Maybe you extend a little bit further. Inhale, and as you exhale, dive the hand through. So I'm coming through this arm, dropping my shoulder down to the ground best I can, and relaxing my neck. I move my hand out a little bit so I can add a little bit of pressure into the earth to help that rotation. Only if it feels good. Threading the needle, one of my favorite upper back stretches. Relax through the neck. Move your hips around as needed and maybe even slide that right arm a little bit further. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift up, find the balance between both the hands and the knees, pressing the tops of the feet in. If that feels comfortable, you can always tuck your toes. I like pressing my feet in because it kind of forces me to find that neutral spine. Check where your elbows are. Are they turned down? They turn back towards your thighs. Move the right hand in, this time to the center of your body. Peel open, dragging that hand up and across the chest, across the shoulders to open up really wide. Now find some space between that right ear and right shoulder. If you're collapsing in there, can you find space? Inhale, and as you exhale, maybe you open a little wider. Inhale, exhale, dive through. Walk your hand out to assist that twist. Just gently relax the neck and press into the earth. Breathe into that back space. Breathe into the spiral of our spine. Inhale, and as you exhale, come up to all fours. Let your back come into a neutral position. Inhale, and as you exhale, walk your knees in. Go ahead and release back into Balasana, into Child's Pose. Dropping the head to the earth, to the mat. Dropping the elbows towards the mat. Remember, if it doesn't feel comfortable and your heels don't touch, that's okay. They don't have to. But it might be something that you start working on. I'm constantly working on opening my quads and stretching them. Breathe into that back space. Inhale, rise up to all fours. You can walk your knees back out so they're underneath your hips. Wrist, elbows, and shoulder stacked. Spread the palms. Really open your hands and find that rooting through our hands. Turn the elbows back towards your body or to 7 and 8, depending on your mobility. We're going to inhale and drop our belly down. Now, when we drop our belly down, we're not going to force those hips to go back. We're just going to simply reach towards the earth, really coming with the chest and the diaphragm, not necessarily our pelvic floor, our pelvis reaching down, to not compress that lower back quite as much. So just gently drop it down. Lift the head up, looking forward. And as you exhale, tuck the pelvis, bring the belly button to the spine, and then push away from the earth, relaxing the head all the way down into cat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Roll up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, round up. One more time. We inhale, bringing the chest forward through the shoulders, through the arms. Head comes up. Exhale, round up. 3 more on your breath, your own rhythm. In and out, however it works best for you. If it does hurt your lower back, you're always more than welcome to widen your knees, and as you inhale, come back so your belly's supported, your lower back supported. I love doing this one. Inhale, and then exhale, and round up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, round up. If you want to try that a few times, you can. We can just continue with a regular cat-cow. And when you're done, go ahead and just sit all the way back. Open the knees or have the knees close together. into Balasana, into child pose. Walk your hands forward. Relaxing through the shoulders, relaxing the breath. The third eye, your forehead, that space comes in contact with the earth, with your mat. Inhale, walk yourself up to all fours, bringing the knees back underneath the hips. Walk yourself up into hero pose. You can sit or you can come into lightning bolt. Hands in Anjali Mudra. Take a breath. Hands to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Take a little salute, a little back bend. Bring them back to center. And if you need to, place your hands on yoga blocks. You can bring those blocks beside you. And just help you lift that right foot up in front of you. So we're in a half kneeling position. Take a breath, draw the hands up, sink into it. You can keep the hips kind of square. And as you exhale, straighten that front leg best you can, leaning and hinging over it. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, rise up. And on this exhale, you're going to come back up so that ankle and knee are stacked. Drop the right arm behind you and twist open that half kneeling position. Putting your head wherever it feels good. You can look forward. You can look back. And you can look straight ahead. Drop the back hands. The right hand's coming to that left leg. Bring the left hand up. Exhale. Drop the left hand inside the right foot. Tuck the back toe. Come into that half lunge position, or full lunge position, and twist open. Use your blocks as needed. Place one underneath that left hand. Inhale. As you exhale, surround the foot with both hands. Draw it back. Coming back to all fours. Sit back. Hands to Anjali Mudra. Take a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Find your way up. Draw that left leg forward. Again, use your blocks as needed. Spread the toes. Press into the back foot. If you need a little more balance, you can always tuck your toes. Inhale, lift the arms up. Sink into that stretch. Exhale. Stand forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretching through the back of the leg. Hinging forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Extend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. One more time. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, draw that knee up over the ankle. Drop the left hand behind you, twisting. Inhale. Turning your head wherever you want it to go. Drop the left hand to the right leg. Lift the right arm up. Stretch. Inhale, draw the right hand down to the earth, inside that left foot. Tuck the back toe, lift up, and rotate open over that left leg. Inhale, and exhale. Create space between your ears and your shoulders. Draw the right hand back down to the earth, surrounding the left foot. Come into our first plank of the class. Inhale, exhale into downward facing dog. Pedaling it out, finding what works right for you. Check your elbows, where are they? Mine want to go out today, I'm tired. My shoulders are tired. Yard work and heat. Let the heels drop. Find the balance between the hands and the feet. Shift your gaze forward and slowly as you can, walk your toes toward your hands, keeping the knees nice and soft, and just let your body rest. We're not forcing it into the standing forward fold, into Uttanasana. We're relaxing into it. Use your yoga blocks underneath your hands if you need it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the earth. Inhale, roll all the way up, stacking the vertebrae, one at a time. Hands come up through to heart center, our first mountain pose. Breathe in and out. Inhale, lift the hands up into a little salute. I'm sorry, my camera doesn't reach that. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long back, nice long neck. Exhale, hands come to the earth. Walk yourself out into a plank. Build some heat. Spread the fingers. Stack the wrist, elbow, and shoulder. Push away from the earth. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that right leg. Let it scorpion over. So I'm bending my foot, bending my knee, drawing that right hip open. Inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to draw that knee just up to our chest, bending our nose, arching our back. Extend it out. Three-legged dog. Inhale, draw the knee to the nose. Push away from the earth. Extend it out. Drop that foot down. Move forward into your plank. Drop the knees and rock back into child pose. Resting the wrists, resting the head. Inhale, rise up to all fours. My hands keep rolling down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. Move the hands as needed. Inhale, lift that left foot. Flex the heel and scorpion open. Inhale, return to three-legged dog. We're going to move forward, drawing the knee up to the nose and extending it back into three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Push away from the earth. Draw it up. Bring that foot down. Draw the knees down to the ground. And again, sit back into child pose. Inhale, rise up. All fours. Tuck the toes. We're just going to hover here. So we're doing a little bit of core work, a little bit of strength. Spread the palms. Wrist, elbow, and shoulder stack. Turn those elbows. Push away from the earth. Toes are tucked. We're just going to lift the knees up and hover. Breathe in through the nose and out. One more breath here. Inhale, and as you exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale, shift your gaze forward. Slowly walk those feet up towards the hands. Keeping the knees bent. Let the head relax. Let your body hang in Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Use blocks as needed. Exhale, hands come towards the ground. Inhale, slowly roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Hands come forward. We find Tadasana, mountain pose. Close the eyes and just feel your body. Feel the blood pumping, feel the heart working. Maybe you feel a little bit warmer than you did when you started. We'll do some lateral flexion of the spine. So inhale it through the nose and out. And you can open your eyes. Bring the right hand up. Excuse me. Grab the wrist. I'm going to adjust my camera. Life happening in real time, right? Bring that right hand up so you're grabbing it by the wrist and just gently pulling over. We're not forcing our body. We're not wrenching, really pulling. It's just a nice little soft knees, a little bend. Inhale. And as you exhale, if you feel like you're warm enough, you can bring your feet a little bit closer together and then draw that hip out to the right too. Inhale. And feel how the stretch changes when you look up towards your elbow, and you might feel a little more stretch through that fascial line that connects back of our arm all the way down through our hip. Inhale, release, bring the hands down, pause, let the body return. Inhale, and as you exhale, widen your stance, bring that left hand Gently pull. Just stretching through the side, not forcing the body. And if it feels good, you can bring the feet in and then add a little bit more hip. Inhale. And as you exhale, look up at that elbow if it's available to you. Come back up, release the hands down. Take a breath, close the eyes. Just feel the sensation of your body returning after that stretch. Coming back to normal, coming back to neutral spine. Relax the shoulders down. We're going to turn our palms in and bring our feet together if that feels comfortable. We're going to bend into the knees. So when we bend into chair, we're going into chair, Utkatasana. Gently pushing those hips back, knees over the ankles best you can. Draw the belly button in so we're not arching our lower back. We have a nice strong core. And then we bring the hands up. And when you bring the hands up, make sure you're not squeezing up. When you squeeze up, that pulls you forward. We want to stay sinking back. Draw those armpits down around the ribs. Imagine that you're holding something between your hands, so there's strength here. Can you wiggle your toes? Feel a little bit of the heat. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring your hands down. Heart center for a couple breaths. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring your hands back. Come up onto your toes, find a little balance here. Drinking bird, you can sink a little deeper if that feels right. Draw the heels to the mat. Come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands come through, salute, and down to heart center. Take a breath. Inhale, and exhale. Good. We're going to move into triangle pose. I'm going to break it down for you just a little bit. And if you didn't watch the video for that, triangle can be a tricky one. So we're going to break this down. We'll do a couple more poses, and then we'll do a little meditation. So step out with your right foot first. And you're just going to hopefully have a block or a book that you can use. I absolutely hated triangle pose when I first started practicing because I didn't understand where I was supposed to be in my body. So my left foot faces the long edge of the mat, my right towards the top of the mat. Now, you don't have to rotate so far that your hips are square to the front. It's not really natural for that femur bone to turn like that. If it feels accessible to you, if your body feels like you can do that, great, but don't force it in. I like to keep my knees a little bit soft. We're gonna draw our arms up out to the side and imagine that we're leaning against a wall. So we have this lovely long, flat back. Reach out, and then we're gonna shift from our thoracic spine. So we're just gonna move sideways. So we shift our body over that right leg. So I'm moving my ribs to the right. Notice I didn't move my hips over. I moved my ribs. We're going to slide those ribs over to the right, and then we're going to hinge to the right, drawing the body down. I used to force myself into this. I absolutely love triangle now because I use a block. Use a block on the inside, stacking the shoulders over one another. Again, you can keep your knee a little bit soft here. And if you need to fold forward just a little bit because that feels more equitable, more kind to your spine, please do so. You don't have to imagine that you're against a wall. That's how it's taught. But you can roll forward if that feels better. Take a breath. And then just explore what your body does in this pose when you look at the ground or when you tilt and look up at the sky. What feels right? Where can you find space? Where can you find length? Where can you find strength? Inhale, and as you exhale, come up, stack yourself back up. Ooh, turn that toe forward and set yourself up to the other side. You can take a little wiggle back and forth. So we turn our right toes towards the long edge of our mat, our left toe towards the other edge, the other end. Knee soft. You can set your yoga block up there in front of your foot if need be. Extend the arms out. Take a breath, and as you exhale, shift, sliding those ribs over the left leg, and then hinging to the left. Drawing your hand down, trying to maybe open up through the ribs, through that chest. Inhale, and again, bring that hand forward if that feels better. You don't have to stack those shoulders right up over right down. Find the length in the legs, the opening of the hips, the length through the spine, and the space between the ears and the shoulders. Turn your head up towards the sky if it feels good. Look down at the ground. Find the neck position that works right for you. Inhale, release that arm down. We're just going to turn both feet forward and come into a forward fold. Wide forward fold. So use your block if you want. If your hands don't reach the ground, relax the neck. So from the side, I'm actually leaning a little bit forward today. I'm just kind of protecting my lower back. Feeling a little twingy, so I'm going kind of long. You can take a nice fold all the way. But again, listen to your body. You can rock side to side. Nothing says that you have to hold everything straight and still. Move around as you see fit. Inhale, find some stability, heel toe in. Soften the knees and come into that forward fold. Uttanasana, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, soften the knees, walk yourself out into a plank. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Take your left hand in front, grab the right foot. Just a little opener here. We're not lifting anything. And again, if you can't reach, yoga strap. Boop. Over, grab both. Stretch out that quad that way if your hand doesn't reach back there. Keep the belly button on the ground. Keep the thigh on the ground. Release and adjust. If it hurts to come up this high, if that doesn't feel good on your back, walk your hand out. You don't have to come into that arch, that extension in your back right now. You can walk it out and keep it a little more shallow. Just opening up the quad, opening our shoulder. Nice long neck, so we're not reaching forward with our chin. That's one of my most common mistakes, especially when I talk. Nice long neck. And then if it feels right to you, you can take both, keeping the knees close to one another. Nice long neck. Press the feet into the hands to extend through the shoulders. I'm not lifting my knees here. Just practicing this extension in the thoracic spine, that rib cage area. Inhale. Exhale and release down. Place the hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes. Press up. And then release that tuck of the toes and come into child pose. Again, I like to do flexion after extension on my lower back to ease any tension. Inhale. And as you exhale, rise up to all fours and then come into a seated position. And bring the feet underneath your knees best you can. If your feet don't go flat, that's okay. We're going to lift up, inhale, and exhale. Again, a little different seated cat-cows. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll back. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Bring that sternum nice and long. This time, don't roll back. Extend back with a nice long straight back. Lift the right foot. Right hand out beside it. Drop it back down. Look forward. Extend that left leg. Left arm out. Good. One more time. Lift. Try lifting both. Boat pose. If you feel confident, you can extend the legs up. Keep that chest nice and lifted. Don't round down. That's how you roll back like that. So we want to stay nice and lifted. A little core strength. Don't forget to breathe. And then release that. Feet back to the earth. Lift up. Inhale, walk yourself down, all the way down. Place your feet underneath, grab your yoga block, and lift up into a bridge. Let's support it. And just let those hips open up. Make sure it's on your sacrum, on your hips, and not pressing into your lower back. If you have a pillow, whatever works for you. Extend the crown of the head, tuck the chin, and then bring the feet up in the air. You might need to kind of move the block around. Point the toes and flex. Point the toes and flex. Point the toes, and then let those legs fall open. Stretching out the inner thighs. Palms can go up, palms can be down. Inhale, bring the legs back up. Let the heels reach towards the ceiling. Legs up a wall, supported. In through the nose and out. Maybe even take a big breath in through the nose. And let it sigh out the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Let it sigh out through the mouth. Bring the feet back down to your mat. Lift up, move the yoga block. Release the hips down. Extend the legs out and set yourself up for Shavasana. Cover yourself up with a blanket, put socks on. Place the bolster under your neck, a blanket underneath your mid-back. Whatever you need, under your knees. And just sink into the mat. Think about the practice we just did. Very gentle, nourishing movement. We moved our spine a lot. And in this class, we'll keep building, moving through the flows. Some of you may be more experienced. You're looking like, why wasn't that more? Just remember, our practice doesn't always have to be a push. Acknowledge how you feel. Take a breath in. And with that breath out, let your body sink into the mat. Give yourself thanks for coming to your mat, for being here, for showing up. Show your body some appreciation, some gratitude for getting you through this practice, for allowing for movement, for allowing for breath. And then let your breath soften, coming in deep and gentle, all the way down to your pelvic floor. And as you exhale, it's a little bit longer than the inhale. So we breathe in inspiration. Exhale, expiration. Inhale, gratitude. Exhale, appreciation. Inhale, gratitude. Exhale, appreciation. Inhale, I am. Exhale, appreciated. Inhale, I am. Exhale, appreciated. Inhale, I am. Exhale, loved. Inhale, I am. Exhale, loved. Inhale, I am. Exhale, home. Inhale, I am. Exhale, home. You can continue to breathe and relax for as long as you'd like. We will continue to build our meditations longer as we go, but feel free to pause and stay on your mat in this position for as long as you want. feet to the earth, to your mat. Roll to your right side when you're ready. Let your eyes start to open and the room come back to you. Take a moment to pause before you pop up. Come into that seated position. And draw your head up. Move around a little bit. Take a big breath, reaching towards the sky, and as you exhale, hands to heart center, to Anjali Mudra. Bow your head in gratitude if it feels right to you. I bow down in appreciation. With great thanks again to those who came before us, to you for being here on your mat, for practicing, for being open. The world needs more people like you, who are strong, who are dedicated, who are compassionate, who are empathetic, who practice love, who practice gratitude. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of this.